you said you were married for 18 years. You're like 24 years old. Bullshit. And thank your husband. Thank you, sir, for wearing your finest flannel tonight. We all appreciate that shit. We love that. What's your one-syllable name? What was it? Matt? Yeah, fuck it. I like how the front row goes from like progressively the most amount of hair to the least amount of hair. This is like a Hims commercial. Like, you guys started early, I can sell you some shit later. Don't worry, I'm losing my hair too, my man. What's your name? Jeff? How long you been in the game? The forever game? You been losing your hair forever? Me too, man. It sucks. It fucking sucks. My man over here has his arms folded, making me feel welcome. Thank you. It's a decision. He made a decision. You gotta be, I don't know what to do with my fucking hands all day long. You guys often wonder all day long, what do you do with your hands in conversation? I don't know. Do I keep them in my pockets? Is that rude? I like being up here because I get to hold a microphone. Or like, you get, one thing I do too is I like, when my girl asks me like ridiculous questions, I'll move my hands around wildly. So I'll sound excited about shit. You know, I'll be like, yeah, I would love to go to a farmer's market. That shit sounds amazing. Sunday morning, 7:30. Let's walk around the open square and buy 3 dirty apples for $28. Please, I would love get yelled at by the lady who sells crystals. I would love that. She's gonna be a new kind of COVID. I love how there's so many kinds of COVID right now. We're not talking about any of them, which thank God I can't handle the COVID anymore. But it's like we had so many. It was like I'm waiting for new COVIDs to be sponsored by corporations now. It's like first you had Delta. Then you had Omicron. And now JP Morgan brings you. Chase COVID. That should be nice. 3% cash back with all your COVIDs. I would dig that. I would like that. I would like that. It's weird with all these new COVIDs because, like, I can handle them. I can hang all the diseases. But it's hard to explain to my dog what's going on, you know? He doesn't get that shit. Like, my dog, during the pandemic, he started to notice the mask. He started to notice the mask. He would get excited. I get the mask, we get the leash, we go outside. I get the mask, we get the leash, we get the poop bags, we go outside. Now when he saw the mask, he started to get excited. Now I just thought he got excited because he thought the mask meant it was time to go outside. Turns out I have a friend who's really good at training dogs. He came over, he observed us for a little while. He was like, no, Brad, you have it all wrong. The reason your dog gets so excited when he sees the mask isn't because he thinks it's time to go outside. The reason your dog gets so worked up is he thinks the mask is a violation of his constitutional rights. And I can't have that in my house, so long story short, we put him down. The saddest part about it, too, is when we did it, we told him the needle was the vaccine. So I don't want to do it. I said, we're doing it, buddy. It's good for you. It's good for you. I deal with depression sometimes. Does anybody here get depressed? I don't believe any of you. Jeff just looked at his fucking phone. And then looked at his male friend, and they looked at each other and went, yeah. Kind of. I get sad. The most annoying thing about getting sad sometimes is when people always try and give you shitty advice, or like you have to get up, you have to get dressed, even if you have nowhere to go that day. Why the fuck am I going to be fully dressed at my house at 9:30 at night in a button-down watching Bones? I might kill myself. Terrible place. I did find, what? Go out in style? That go out in style, says my man, who I can't understand half the things he says in a parka. Why not go out in style? Are you guys together with the Armani Exchange? Did you go get the album mobile before this on Black Friday? Oh my God, where are you guys from? Chicago? They're from South America, yeah. I knew you weren't from this country. I was just being polite. That's awesome. But I did find one thing you gotta do when you get sad. What you gotta do, remember this by the way next time you get sad, Jeff. What you gotta do is you just got a new drink. I'm happy for you, Jeff. What you gotta do is you get a piece of paper and you write down a list of all your goals, right? For the day, the week, the month. You take that paper, you fold it in half, then you pour marijuana into the crease. matter. If you feel low, just get really fucking high. That's what you gotta do. I'll be honest with you, I know we're legal here in Chicago. I'm not a big fan of legal weed. Like, I get to travel a lot. I've been here where we're legal. I've been to places like Louisiana where you get life in prison for a certain amount of marijuana. What's South Africa do when you get caught with marijuana? You make it? You make the marijuana? There's no punishment?
Well, yeah, but we don't tell anyone.
We don't tell anyone. This is the shadiest conversation I've ever had. I'm going back to Jeff. Jeff made me feel so much more comfortable. I'm not a fan of legal weed because I like the access, but I don't like the entitlement. You know, I like this whole younger generation only getting their weed at the store. No, thank you. I don't like that. I feel like as Americans, we are robbing these children of a childhood. You know, these kids will never show up to a closed down CVS parking lot. Get into the back of the old 1997 Grand Am with no hubcaps. You know, a child. Talk to some paranoid dude who's like, hey. How much pizza do you want? And you have to be like, I'll have an 1/8 of pizza, please. I don't know why every shitty, low-level drug dealer did that to me growing. Like, who did they think we were fooling? The world's worst FBI agent? Just a dude in a van nearby, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think we got bad intel, Rick. He just sold no marijuana, but he sold 8 3/4 pizzas. And I go home, I'm starving. It's interesting because, like, I get to see different people. Like, I have a sister, she's younger, she's 24 now. She's only bought her weed at the store. She started smoking later in life, she's only bought it at the store. And I see how she's different. She can't hang. Like, the other day, she can't. The other day I called her, and I was like, hey. And she goes, why are you calling me? I said, because I have a question. She goes, talking on the phone gives me anxiety. And she hung up. What the fuck is this? She can't talk on the phone? It's a basic life skill. You fucking idiot, talk on the phone. So I called her back 96 more times. I was like, fuck this, you know what I'm saying? I can't have this in my family. But then I was driving, we were having this conversation, I started thinking about it, and I'm going through a toll, and I was like, hey, have you ever paid for a toll? And she was like, yeah, just drive through it. I was like, no, but have you ever, like, stopped and paid for a toll? And she was like, no. I was like, oh, well, back when I first started driving, we used to have to pay for tolls. And you wait in this long line of like 42 cars, all facing one direction, right? And you and your friends are all high as shit, right? And what do you have to do? You have to find 5 quarters. You're looking around the car for quarters, you finally find a couple quarters, you get to the front, everybody's angry at you, they're honking at you. You finally find 5 quarters, right? And you think now all you have to do is pay, right? No. What you have to do is you have to roll down your window and throw your money into a tiny little basket 8 feet over there. Like we're on some weird governmental carnival game. Like, boom! Hope I get to go to Indiana. Who's making this? What do they think? We're all D1 athletes? Look at it, George is wrong. I listen every time. 3 of those quarters are winding up on the ground. I'm coming back from on the way back. It's an old Jew trick. Kanye taught me that. But, yeah, and then you miss, and then you have to wait for some guy who recently got released from prison to walk up to your car. And I'll be like, hey man, what do you want to do? And you're like, I don't know, I don't have any more quarters, you don't care about my life. And he finally lets you through, right? He lets you through, now there's traffic, and people are yelling at you, and people are throwing coffee cups at the car, because now these cars that were behind you are now with you. And I was like, you like to talk on the phone? It's so fucking easy, dude. But my man on the Ironic Exchange, what is your name? Eric. It's nice to meet you. Stephen. Eli. Give it up for these guys.